Gentlemen, as we speak, the people of Maharashtra have locked up their votes in the electronic voting machines. This is the second time they're voting, first for a general election just a few months ago, and now once again. There are a few pertinent questions in what has been a bit of a slow cycle. I don't know whether it's coming from election fatigue. Don't mention that in Maharashtra because it's been a high octane election process. But the first question is there going to be a single party majority? And it's a tough answer because only one party is contesting more seats than what is required to form a majority. They'll have to win cent percent. So a tough one. Number two, if there is no single party majority, what then constitutes a stable government? Is it going to be a pre-poll alliance or a post-poll alliance? In the advent of a post-poll alliance, what kind of bucks are up in the air to grab? We've seen it in the past. Ajit Pawar goes this way, goes that way. Will he rejoin with Sharad Pawar and reunite the NCP? This time Sharad Pawar says absolutely no. What will happen to Uddhav Thackeray? Will Eknath Shinde and he come together? Both are saying no. But anything is possible in the realm of politics, because 5 years ago, as we sat here on this day, there was a surprise afoot after the election results were declared. The election results told you that the BJP was the single largest party with 105, and them and the Shiv Sena should have had 161. But within 48 hours, we had a surprise swearing in, not of the BJP and the Shiv Sena, but of Devendra Fadnavis and Ajit Pawar. Yet another 48 hours later, we had another swearing in. The Ajit Pawar Deputy Chief Ministership remained, but from the other side, under Uddhav Thackeray as Chief Minister. And who would have known that the Shiv Sena and Congress could ally, but they did. They ran a government for a couple of years until it was undone, not only by the collapse of the Shiv Sena, with Uddhav Thackeray, the Chief Minister, with all the intelligence departments reporting to him, seeming to be clueless that more than half his MLAs had vanished in the dark of the night. And this government has held for the past 2.5 years. So now the question is, amongst the three main moot points, who's winning? We're going to have all the exit poll numbers with you. But let's take an opinion poll. The thoughts of people who make it their living, their livelihood, and their entire enterprise tracking election after election after election. Let's ask them to put where the numbers where their mouth is, all their experience into a distillation and stick their neck out and tell us what's going to happen come results day. Let's kick this off with Sumit Peer. If you watch NewsX, you watch him on a daily basis discussing politics and foreign policy and you name it. He does it now almost semi-professionally. So Sumit, I'm going to ask you to stick your neck out. There are two main alliances, the Mahayuti and MVA in Maharashtra. Before we move on to Jharkhand, what's your prediction for Maharashtra?
Rishabh ji, thanks for having me on the show. Always a pleasure to be with you on the election day, especially, and always. My prediction for Mahayuti is 145 to 155. I think they are going to make it. The black sheep in the alliance is Shindeji. I don't know how much can he pull it on his own. I have my doubts there. Others can pull it up to 125, 126 Vegas Agadi. That's the maximum. Again, the future of Uddhav Thackeray ji will depend on how much is he able to really pull from his side, because two Shiv Senas cannot exist. There has to be ultimately one Shiv Sena which will dominate, other will ultimately perish. That is about this, and that is my take what they will have. BJP will get what they are supposed to get. Ajit Pawar ji will get what's supposed to get. Sharad Pawar will get what he is supposed to get. But between the two Shiv Senas, we have to really see is Shinde ji is going to pull it, or it's Mr. Uddhav Thackeray who is really going to hold to the legacy of Balasaheb Thackeray, because that is my take. But overall, BJP-led Yukti is going to make it around from 145 to 155 seats. That's my prediction, sir.
Okay. 288 seats, which means 145 indeed is the halfway mark. Sumit Peer says the BJP, along with Ajit Pawar and the Shinde faction of the Shiv Sena, make it just past 145 and form a government with a slim majority. He expects the MVA performance to be decent, 130 around abouts, but not enough to form a government. So a near hung house with advantage Mahayuti, with 3 to 11 seats going to the others. This is roughly in line with the results that were received in 2019 if you take all the factions and put them back into place as they stood in various parties 5 years ago. So a close contest with advantage Mahayuti, with the BJP potentially single largest party once again. This is Sumit Peer's prediction for Maharashtra. Thank you for sticking your neck out, Sumit Peer. Let's hop across now to the other state, Jharkhand, where there are less number of seats to grab. 38 have voted in the second phase, just over 40 have voted in the first phase. What's your prediction, Sumit Peer?
Rishabh ji, for Jharkhand, it is going to be 50 for BJP. You have around, then others, Soren ji will get most of the seats. I'm not sure on the Congress. So the Indie bloc, if I can say, they will settle around 25, 26 seats. But BJP is going to pull 50 seats. There I'm sure. I don't see the number changing. Maybe 1 or 2 seats here and there, but 50 is what it looks to me.
Okay, 81 seats have gone to the hustings in Jharkhand over a period of 2 days across the last 3 weeks of November. 41 is the halfway mark. You need 41 MLAs in your camp to form a government in Jharkhand. Sumit Peer says it's a clear majority for the BJP alliance. They should have closer to the 50 mark, which would leave them in a comfortable position to form a government. He expects Hemant Soren to grab most of the rest and therefore bring the Indie alliance as stood during the Lok Sabha polls, led by Hemant Soren in Jharkhand, to come short with 25 to 30 seats, means reducing their tally by a significant number of more than 20. He expects a few others to grab in 6. So as per this prediction, Sumit Peer feels it's a BJP alliance win in Maharashtra and a BJP alliance win in Jharkhand, with Jharkhand more predictable. All right, Sumit, thank you, and stay with us. We'll come back and examine these results. Let me use this opportunity to now rope in the editor of our paper, The Sunday Guardian, Joyita Basu, joining us on the broadcast. Joyita, it's a tough one. It's a really, really tough one, because we've seen in Haryana results can really upset even the politicians who don't know what's going on. But I'm going to ask you to stick your neck out. Let's begin with Maharashtra. What's your prediction?
Well, frankly, Rishabh, I think I have played it really safe. It's kind of, I would go with what Sumit has been saying, around 140, 45 for the Mahayuti, where I see BJP doing pretty well. But when it comes to, I'm not very certain how NCP, meaning the Ajit Pawar faction, will do that well or not. In fact, the NCP and the Shinde Sena, these are the main, these are the two parties that are holding back the alliance. Okay, so that is why it could be somewhere in the range of maybe 135, 40, 45, around that, 135 to 144. And the rest, of course, will be going to this. I do see that Uddhav may do well, because he still has that sympathy factor with him. So he may not be doing too badly. And of course, Baramati, that sympathy factor is also coming in for Sharad Pawar. But yes, I do see Mahayuti having an advantage.
Okay, so let's go take it to the numbers. Joyita Basu says the BJP, which got 105 last time around, is roughly the same. Single largest party by a large margin with around about 100 seats. An improvement for the Congress at about 60, so slightly better. 30 for the Shiv Sena, which is the Shiv Sena led by Shinde. But the Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena doing even better at 40. The NCP under Ajit Pawar getting about 15. The NCP of Sharad Pawar getting about 35, and a few others. Which would mean that as the alliances hold, she is predicting exactly the halfway mark, 145 for the BJP-led alliance, and she is expecting 135 or thereabouts for the opposition alliance, technically now led by the Indian National Congress, which will be the largest party if they were to actually sit in the opposition. So it is close.
It is.
Very close. A few MLAs could upset it. You would think that where Ajit Pawar's wife lost to Supriya Sule in Baramati just a few months ago, he himself would win one of the assembly constituencies, pitted against, ironically, his own nephew, his brother's son. So those few seats could upset the balance, but many fates are in store. Look at the numbers on your screen. You had similar predictions, and I have to say it, they are now cautious predictions, which are telling you who's going to form the government, but the advantage is being given to the BJP. Joyita, before I move on to Jharkhand, let me ask you a question. Would your opinion have changed in the past few weeks since Haryana, since other developments that have taken place?
Yes, I think so. Because you see, if we were going by the Lok Sabha elections, then perhaps I would have given MVA the numbers, the winning numbers. But since Haryana and since whatever we have been hearing from the ground, even people there, the journalists there are saying that BJP's performance is not going to be as bad as it was during the Lok Sabha elections. I am basing my prediction completely on that, but at the same time I see it as a neck to neck fight.
And a neck to neck fight means that it's not necessary that the pre-poll alliances hold the test of the next 72 hours. Anything is possible, because we have already proved this 5 years ago that anything is possible. I remember being called early in the morning to be told, surprise, surprise, that the Maharashtra swearing in is about to happen very shortly. And who's swearing in? Devendra Fadnavis and Ajit Pawar. Then only to find out later that evening that another swearing in is going to happen. And this time Ajit Pawar will continue and swear in again, but the Chief Minister will change. So we've seen it all happen. Politics keeps you busy. Imagine if we have one nation, one poll, we'll miss out on all of this, Joyita. All right.
Yeah.
So that is Joyita Basu's prediction for Maharashtra. Now, Joyita, stick your neck out for Jharkhand.
Well, Jharkhand, I think BJP has an upper hand, definitely. But at the same time, again, there also, I am being frank, I am playing it totally safe. Okay, I see it as a neck to neck fight, but Congress will do pretty badly, that's for certain. But JMM may not be doing too badly.
Okay, so hung house is the prediction of Joyita Basu in Jharkhand, giving nobody the advantage because you need 41 seats to form a government. She thinks the BJP takes 35, Hemant Soren will take 30, the Congress will be cut down to 8, and there will be a few others who together in the mix maybe will be the kingmakers in helping form the government. Now, how is this changed in the past few weeks and months, Joyita? What would you have felt closer to the end of the Lok Sabha elections in which we had a verdict?
No, surprisingly, I would say I have, reduced my numbers for BJP. But instead, unlike Maharashtra, because in this case, what we have been told, we were told that Jharkhand is a state that BJP will be winning in the assembly elections. But recently, I have also heard things like that Soren's the freebies, they are having a huge impact on the ground. Now, whether that impact is confined to the tribal belt or to the non-tribal population also, we do not know as yet. But there is a divide in Jharkhand in terms of non-tribal population. A large chunk of it is going towards the BJP. We don't know how much of the tribal vote they will be able to attract. So it may seem like a 50-50 situation. And after this freebies report I got from my reporters and others, I have reduced BJP's numbers.
Okay, so there you have it. The prediction for Jharkhand, 35 BJP, 8 Congress, 30 JMM, 8 others. It's a hung house, says Joyita Basu, in Jharkhand come results day on the 23rd. We will have to wait and watch. That's an opinion you've heard, an educated opinion, but that's an opinion that you've just heard. The exit polls may be in line with this opinion, may not be in line with this opinion, and who knows whether the exit polls will be in line with the results or not. That we'll find out shortly in another part of our telecast a bit later. Let me use the opportunity then to go straight across to Tejas Mehta, and given his field of expertise, he's sticking his neck out only for Maharashtra. Mr. Mehta, thank you for at least making the attempt. I know it's a very confusing election. I have also lost track of which spokesperson.
Us in a spot, all of us here,
Sir, I have lost track as an anchor which spokesperson belongs to which faction. I've been making those errors all morning. I can only tell after I've asked the first question that who are they bashing. Then I know that, oh, this is the other faction. So if I've lost track, I sympathize for those of you who watch the elections, equally closely. So, but stick your neck out, sir. Maharashtra, how do you predict it?
Of course, these are not exit polls. We are just taking, hazarding guesses, educated guesses with whatever we have heard from the ground, from our reporters, from talking to politicians, analysts, and people on the ground, of course. Now, I have, of course, gone from the figures we have from the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, because that was the first time we have seen the MVA and the Mahayuti contest against each other. The apple-to-apple comparison would have actually been with the 2019 election, but that was a completely it would have been apple with oranges, because the parties were completely different, the alliances were different, they contested on different issues. So I have taken my base starting point as that, added issues to all of this that are prevalent on the ground, and there are many issues which is what actually creating a sort of a hodgepodge or a khichdi. And that is where there are so many influences actually in this election, because this is not 2014 where you have a wave election. This is not 2019 in that sense, where the Prime Minister could win on his charisma. Now times are different, and therefore local issues have become far more prominent, especially in a state like Maharashtra, where local issues have become far more prominent because we have not really had municipal elections. So even aapka sadak bura hai, bijli nahi chal rahi hai, it's all coming out now in assembly elections, which should not really be the case, because the assembly is for larger issues. The municipality, the panchayat really takes care of smaller things. So let me get straight away to the figures which I have come to, and I have not given a majority to any of the alliances, and the primary reason for this is because of the rebel factor. Remember, rebels are going to either play spoilers, they will ensure that the parties which denied them tickets, their candidates do not win, or they could even win themselves. Maharashtra at least has about 10%, somewhere around 25 to 30 seats being won by independents. So rebels would come in that category. They could win, by themselves around 8 to 10 seats. So the number of others, that category has now increased in my estimate to 35. I have put the Mahayuti at 128, and I have put the MVA at 125. If you go back to our base, as I was saying, the Lok Sabha 2024 elections, at that point of time, the MVA was ahead with 153 seats. In fact, they had won that much, and the leads would have been that much in the assembly segment. And the Mahayuti was 126, so it was behind by about 25, 26 seats. The Mahayuti has made progress because of the Ladli Bahin scheme, which is, I think, going to be the biggest game changer, biggest influencer in this election. The MVA loses out on that, in my opinion. And there are other factors. The MVA also loses out because of excessive rebel, antagonism and cutting off votes, which is going to happen. And what the Mahayuti loses out on is, of course, the basic, bread butter issues like inflation, especially of vegetables in Maharashtra, skyrocketed. Agrarian crisis, we have seen in the Vidarbha area during the Lok Sabha election. The Mahayuti did not really do very well. In fact, the Congress was the one which really did well. So I think because of the policy changes, Ladli Bahin scheme, and a slew of measures they have taken in the last few weeks, the Mahayuti has a slight edge.
Okay.
But 35 is others, so they will have to bring rebels, and that is going to complicate the situation even more.
So for people who are not watching this from Maharashtra, the Mahayuti is the current incumbent, being ruled, currently led technically by the BJP, but the chief minister is from a different party. BJP is the largest party. So now, let me put that into context of numbers. What you've just heard is the full. Let me give you the breakup. 81 says Tejas Mehta or thereabouts for the BJP. So about 24, 25 down from where they stood 5 years ago in their sheer numbers, but still the single largest party by a large measure. The Congress improving to 52 and becoming the second largest party in Maharashtra. This is in line with the 13 seats they won in the Lok Sabha elections, where they won the maximum number of seats for one party. The Shiv Sena, as run by Eknath Shinde at around 41 seats, and the Shiv Sena UBT at 45 seats. This would mean that the two Shiv Senas are potentially winning more seats than the BJP, significantly improving upon their baseline performance as a single party 5 years ago, where the BJP, remember, had got 105. The NCP at 6. So his tabulation is roughly 81 plus 41, which is 122 plus 6. So around about the 128 mark, which is for the ruling party. That is well short of the halfway mark, which is 145. Okay. The Congress with 52, Uddhav Thackeray with 45 takes you to 97. You add another 28 to that, and again you are in your 120s, around about the 124 mark. Again, well short of the halfway mark of 145. The key factor, says Mr. Mehta, is going to be the rebels, which now are in the others camp. Now, some of these rebels are from the Shiv Sena, some of them from the BJP, some of them for Congress. But in the rebellion category, you would have to now figure out who is potentially likely to come back into the fold if they do win. There are 8 to 10 people, he feels, who have exited recently because they have not gotten given tickets by their parties, or in the alliance arithmetic their seats have gotten left out from the alliance, therefore they have missed out on the ticket in the name of their party. 35. So these rebels, along with the others, are going to hold the key for government. So it's a hung house with an improved performance as far as 2019 is concerned for the Congress Uddhav Thackeray Sharad Pawar alliance, but not necessarily a dramatically improved performance, roughly given what happened in the Lok Sabha. Okay, thank you, Mr. Mehta. We will come back to you to analyze this very shortly. All right, let me now invite into this expertometer in the game of prediction Alok Mehta, who is going to be telling us, hopefully, off the cuff, who he thinks is winning first in Maharashtra. Alok ji, what's your best bet?
Rishabh ji, first a disclaimer, because I never believe in opinion poll or exit poll. And normally, because you have in my opinion, you have the highest credibility. That's why I'm sharing with you my opinion. That's why I'm saying I'm not a prediction. I'm not a Jyotishi, but as a field man, always I was a reporter and started my career since Indira Gandhi days. And that's why I got feedback from my other sources also who are in reporting in the Maharashtra. That's why disclaimer that I am not predicting, but say opinion from the field, and the reasons also there. And it's the first time that I am talking about the figures, but I think, and never I predict, and that's why in the morning also I told our colleague that I will not say, but now I am telling you, in my opinion, Maharashtra, they are, this alliance, BJP alliance, they are getting even conservative figure. I got figure of 166, but even then after this polling, what I think that between 155 and 160, the BJP alliance will get. And because I believe in those people who know the Kisan, who know the woman power, who know the field, how the Maratha work, and because they were working together and since 30, 40 years they were in the field. So I believe in those independent journalists who are not biased with anybody. That's why I still feel that certainly, and because the factor is, certainly Sharad Pawar will be in better position in Congress, because I know more people in Congress, Prithviraj Chauhan and others. Even then, because now the Praful Patel, Ajit Pawar, everybody is, because they were really very active either in funding or in the field. Ajit Pawar was also working. So even then, the Congress party is not getting whatever Rahul Gandhi and Congress party was thinking. With all respect, I feel that even Congress party, maybe the number game is whatever they will get, but they will lose more whatever they were thinking, and they are not coming at all in the power with Sharad Pawar ji. Maybe what happened with the Sharad Pawar group, who they will join, and the same thing, Uddhav Thackeray in the worst condition. I feel the Eknath Shinde, because I used to critical about since Bal Thackeray days about the Shiv Sena, because the Eknath Shinde type of field worker were there. That's why BJP also accepted Shiv Sena Shinde, or earlier also with Bal Thackeray days. That's why I am an open mind, and that's why I'm saying Eknath Shinde was from the field, and that's why his worker also with him, people also, because he was helping in COVID or earlier also as a worker. The success of the BJP and Shiv Sena or Sharad Pawar, whenever their people were working with the people, mass contact, or RSS or the BJP, that's why this kind, RSS, BJP, women voters, even the small farmers, you will find Rishabhji, small farmers voting, even all the crises were there. But certainly, because Sharad Pawar also started his career from cooperative movement and all, I think the sympathy for is still with Sharad Pawar ji, and that's why at least his reputation, at least some save, is not defeated in such a way that, okay, not like Uddhav Thackeray. Because Uddhav Thackeray lost everything. Aditya Thackeray, maybe he will win, but otherwise, you see, Uddhav Thackeray sympathy in some area, maybe in Mumbai or some area. Otherwise, all over Maharashtra, Uddhav Thackeray is no more like a BJP or even Sharad Pawar. That's why my prediction in Maharashtra also, that they will get around 155, 160.
Okay. So there you heard it there. Conservatively, Alok Mehta, who's been doing this 40, 50 years, says the advantage is probably still with the BJP-led alliance and unlikely to see an upset, even though there was a bit of an upset in the Lok Sabha elections 3-4 months ago, where the BJP only managed to get about 9 seats and the Congress with 13, that this is going to go down in a similar format, that you're going to have a return to government of the incumbent Mahayuti alliance in the like-in form as it exists, with a slight but comfortable majority. Okay. Now I have to ask you, sir, you may or may not want to give the numbers. How is Jharkhand looking for you?
Jharkhand, more confidently I can tell you, because there the BJP and the alliance, whatever they have, either even the JDU, Sarju Rai, I think the Jharkhand is more clear than the Maharashtra. Because even not talking to everybody, the Babulal Marandi, and since Jharkhand Mukti Morcha movement, I know the Shibu Soren when he was fighting, I was at the time also in Bihar also, before the Jharkhand. So I can tell you the credibility. Shibu Soren, because of the tribal area in some part, because sympathy or unknown illiterate people, or maybe because of the emotions, Hemant Soren is getting something. But otherwise, the Congress is losing a lot, and that's why this alliance, BJP, because they did everything. Maybe what they did, we are not talking about these factors, but at least for the tribals, what happened in Chhattisgarh, in Haryana, the caste factor, again I will tell you, Rishabhji, caste factor, Haryana proved it, Madhya Pradesh proved it, Chhattisgarh proved it, Odisha proved it. That's why again I am telling you, the caste factor, the Maratha factor will be there in Maharashtra. But here also, the tribal this time, they will go not so much to the Soren Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, they will go with the BJP, because Marandi was working last time, because he lost, the Raghuvar Das was not very competent in that sense, he was the labor leader, but because he was non-tribal, they lost it in last election. But otherwise, I think Congress, no face is there, and only the corruption of the Hemant Soren. So I think the Congress is not getting there, and Hemant Soren, whatever they got, maybe he will be in the opposition, and there will be BJP alliance will be very comfortably in Jharkhand. They will be. Here I can, at least with confidence, I can tell you, because of I know Bihar, Jharkhand better than
Okay,
even the
all
Maharashtra.
right. So there you heard it from Alok Mehta. He predicts a BJP-led government to be formed in Jharkhand as well, more comfortably. Not even the BJP expected their returns in the last Chhattisgarh assembly elections, let alone the Congress, but they pulled off an upset. Madhya Pradesh should have been close with a disadvantage to the BJP after having spent 3.5 terms in power, but it wasn't. It was an upset in favor of the BJP. So now the big question, of course, is does that trend continue? Because Haryana was also an upset. Not even members of the BJP I was in touch with were confident of a single party government in Haryana, but they got it just a month ago. Is that a trend? We don't know. We'll have to wait to find out. But there you heard the expertometer from Alok Mehta. With that, let me now rope in Mr. A.K. Mishra, who's going to also stick his neck out for Maharashtra. Mr. Mishra, I know it's a complex job, and this is a perception, it's a gut guesstimation, but for a person who's tracking politics very closely, where do you put the numbers in Maharashtra?
Thank you very much for inviting me. This is not a complex job, especially for this time. This is very much crystal clear. As well as in Maharashtra, there will be Mahavijay for Mahayuti. And there is the reason. First, all of us, we would like to have the number. I have predicted, and it is my firm belief, that Mahayuti, BJP plus alliance, they will be achieving approximately 170 to 180 seats, means clear-cut victory. The second most important thing, Mahavikas Aghadi, whatever three main components, UBT, Shiv Sena, as well as the Sharad Pawar, I think they are going to get vanished from their political, you can say, the field political career. Now, the second important thing, why it is going to happen, especially in Jharkhand and Maharashtra, this is fight not for the mutta, not for the roti, kapra, makan, vikas, development, and inflation, price hike, all these things. In all these two states, this is the fight for land. And everyone must be knowing that whenever there will be the question for Marathi culture, Marathi Asmita, Marathi Manus, the BJP has entire, you can say, the predicted or pitched the entire campaign only and only on Marathi Manus, Marathi culture, Marathi Vijay. All these were the main component of their, you can say, the campaign. That's why every time they were chanting, they were talking about Shivaji Maharaj, slogans and all these things. And I know very well the mentality of Maratha person, Maratha people, the land of trial, especially whenever there will be the question or mudda of Maratha land, Marathi culture. This is one thing. The second most important thing is, yeah, please.
Yeah, okay.
Please.
Yeah, okay. So we've got a bit of the reasoning. Take us through the numbers, sir.
BJP, it is going to perform better. Last time they won 105, this time they are expecting 110, whatever I am expecting. Shiv Sena, little bit plus minus, out of 81, they are going to get 40. And Mr. Pawar, Ajit Pawar, they are going to secure 30. There will be decrease in Ajit Pawar performance. A slight decrease also, it may be witnessed in Shinde, but BJP would like to gain maximum. So all total, it will go approximately 180 plus minus 10 to 15 seats. This is. And for, you can say, the Congress and all these party, MVA, Maha, no doubt Congress is going to face a major loss after Haryana. And this will be the question that especially in Maharashtra, Congress will go side by side and huge loss they may suffer because of factor was there. Even entire Congress party and the hero of Congress party, Rahul Gandhi, was totally absent. He could not make his presence, his Josh and all these things. It has been noticed by myself. The second important thing, UBT, Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray. He is going to vanish, he is going to get, you can say, the completely defeated, not only the election, but the future political career also. So I had given approximately 40 seats for UBT as well as the, you can say, Uddhav Thackeray, Shiv Sena, as well as the NCP Sharad Pawar. This will be the last political game or cricket match for Sharad Pawar also. After that, he will be out from Maharashtra as well as the national politics. A major chunk of loss will be noticed from Sharad Pawar, 30 to 35 seats, maximum whatever they can perform. Total 100, 110, 150, 115 seats for MBA we can witness in coming days.
Okay, that's an interesting prediction. because Mr. Mishra is the only one who feels that the BJP here has the advantage to even gain a few seats after what has taken place, which has been chaotic for the past 5 years. He feels that 105 goes to 110. He is evenly splitting up the other votes, but have a look at his assessment of the Shiv Sena, 40-40 for each of the factions, which would mean that the Shiv Sena, as it stood 5 years ago as a unitary entity, would come up with 80 seats between the two of them. The Mahayuti alliance, as things stand, would then have to add BJP, Shiv Sena and NCP, which the figure on your screens is around about the 170 mark, which is a thumping majority in Maharashtra. The Congress, he feels, will not fare as well as they would hope after the Lok Sabha election, in which they won 13, but will only get 30 seats. He's given the same amount of seats to Sharad Pawar, and like we mentioned, 40 seats to the Thakres, which would mean about 100 or 100 odd seats for the MVA with a few others. He is not expecting too many of the X factors, the rebels, to play a dramatic role in an election. He is feeling that is predictable to go along party lines, not necessarily individual lines. Now, this would then mean a lot of things. It would mean not only that you have potentially a stable government between Ajit Pawar, Shinde and Fadnavis, but it also means that there is a possibility a united Shiv Sena and the BJP could form the government. There is a possibility the united NCP and the BJP could form the government. Anything is up for grabs. Okay. Yeah, okay. You make the qualification, sir. Take a few minutes, make the qualification, and I'm going to take a break. Go ahead, sir. Mishra ji, go ahead.
There is the logic as well as the reason. Say one concept is there, that competition within competition. If we take, you can say, the condition of BJP plus whatever alliance is there, of course every party is thinking, they will definitely think that they should gain maximum, they should perform maximum. This is the same ideology of BJP, that within competition, whatever, within, of course a natural competition is there within their allies. BJP is having the competition with Shiv Sena as well as the Ajit Pawar also. BJP also wants to form government on his own feet. They, naturally, no party wants to take the, you can say, the support of any other party. So BJP has planned drastically as well as strategically, especially for this election, that maximum whatever they can perform, they have to perform. Reason behind that, they do not want that they should be dependent on Shiv Sena or you can say or Ajit Pawar, because of as much as you are going to take the support from outside or from any other party, a hanging sword will be there. Unstable government, you cannot lead. Whatever you want to do, you cannot perform freely. Whatever it happened in 2024 elections, they were forced to take the support from outside Nitish Kumar and all other parties. So this was the strategy that BJP had to gain maximum. They planned well. That's why very aggressive campaign they made. Whatever seats they are contesting, they would like to gain maximum, not only this 110 and whatever, if maximum it may be possible. And another question, whatever other people are X-Factor, rebel and all these things, silent type of the competition.
Okay.
See, one who is the largest party, who is more powerful, all factors goes along with that one who is the most powerful.
Okay. So you heard a host of variegated opinions, some of our experts being a lot more conservative, couple really sticking their neck out. Let's now see. It is a convoluted election, no doubt, because of the complication of the factionalism. The normal psephological matrices of observing past election trends and incumbency impacts and turnout impacts don't really apply. You can try to apply them, but it's a guesstimation to the best force. Hey, I don't think most of the voters also remember who's on whose side anymore. It's become that confusing. What is patently obvious is that this has not been an election in which an overarching national battle has been taking place. So this has not been a vote for Modi or against Modi or a Modi versus Congress kind of scenario. We haven't gotten that wisp at all. It is a local election after a very, very long time. I'm going to take a very, very short break. We are back in 60 seconds.